Hi there, Zamario. Thank you very much for watching. I want to talk about Spider-Man. I think it's been confirmed now for sure. Well, what's been confirmed in the sense that nothing has gone forward, and this particular revelation that maybe Sony and Marvel were really doing the fucking switcheroo on the fans that never unfortunately came to play. Spider-Man hasn't been renewed by MCU. They haven't gonna not going to be making any more films with Spider-Man, and that's for sure for now. How do you
Sorry.
guys feel about that?
Well, at the moment, yeah, that's the confirmation we've gotten is that they won't be moving forward with any more Spider-Man films. But again, let's just remember that Spider-Man is not in the plans for Phase 4, so everything is still up in the air. I'm sure when it gets closer to the time, they might go back to the negotiating table. It will be very unlikely they're just going to leave everything up in the air like they did. But for now, there's no need for Disney on their part to do anything else because, again, why waste time with negotiations when he doesn't feature for at least another 4 years, 3 to 4 years in your plans? So for now, we can safely say that yes, Spider-Man is not in the MCU. Going forward, who knows?
Sony needs to be dick slapped.
Sony needs to be dick slapped. Yes,
Yes.
yes.
Marvel too, cause
I mean,
fuck that shit. How? Like, give them what they want. Just get Spider-Man back. Damn it.
well, they're just hoping. I mean, at the end of the day, like, I don't think Disney wants to bend over for anybody, and they're willing to lose Spider-Man if that's the case. Because Sony are in the driving seat on this particular issue, and I don't think Disney likes it at all. But they put themselves in this position, so they've only got themselves to blame.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you like so Disney at this point in time don't need don't need to do anything. I think they've got so many properties to work on and worry about that Spider-Man, has taken a back seat. Which personally, I would have had Spider-Man in Phase 4. I wouldn't have bothered with Shang-Chi at all. It's just a shameless grab for the Asian market. On such an obscure fucking character. They could easily do a grab for the Asian market when the X-Men are introduced, given how many Asian X-Men there are. So they could have done away with Shang-Chi and could have just put Spider-Man 3 in there. But this is where we are at the moment, so Disney don't have to worry about Spider-Man. Sony can move ahead, do whatever they want to do with the properties now. They can't wait on Disney with 3 to 4 years with nothing happening on that property. So, moving forward,
This is what's
it'll be
concerning me.
interesting.
This is what's concerning me now because I hear the word fast tracked by Sony. And I know of films that are being fast tracked, like the Assassin's Creed film with Fassbender.
Yeah,
You are making a shit product if you don't put the time and effort into it. Like a lot of the MCU films have had time and effort put into them. They've if they fast track another Spider-Man film and they try to say somehow correlate it with the MCU without mentioning the names and stuff, first of all, fans are going to pick up on that. I mean, it's going to be that annoying fucking is it the white elephant in the room? It's going to be like that, like how they can't say certain things, but they're trying to correlate it to certain things, and I feel that's what they're going to kind of do with the next Spider-Man movie. Sony is. I don't want that. I don't think anybody wants that.
you're not wrong. I mean, yeah,
But at
but
the same time,
nobody's going
maybe
to stand for it.
I think they're going to try and have their cake and eat it. Sony. I think they're going to try and churn out a few Spider-Man films before the
Sorry.
next supposedly MCU Spider-Man movie is supposed to be made, and then they're
Yeah,
going to maybe hopefully do a deal with Disney again and churn something out. Because I do feel, even with Tom Holland at the helm, that whatever Sony does, without any sort of guidance from Marvel, I mean, they might hire certain people. I've heard they've hired the writers of Far From Home and Homecoming and stuff like that. But I don't know. I just feel when it comes to corporate minds, whenever they get involved in shit, and like I said, they're gonna fast track this fucking film. Um, I don't know. I am really worried. I don't think it's going to be
They're
going.
gonna fuck it
I
up.
don't.
We already established
Yeah,
that. It will happen.
yeah.
Yeah,
Just
it's
Yeah, for
it,
sure.
it's just it's what Sony do. They just they fuck up everything. Like Venom made money probably purely because of Tom Holland being in there and
Mhm.
fan curiosity.
Yes,
That's why. But the film is absolute shit. I
it is. I
fucking
mean,
I hated it.
I enjoyed it.
the go on about
It's
No,
Venom.
that's
not like
fine.
Oscar worthy, but it
Yeah.
was an enjoyable
There was a
movie.
real,
It
there
was
was a real
okay.
cliche shit in Venom that I couldn't stand. Like there was that moment where Eddie Brock goes into that place to meet the bad guy, and there's a security guard at the door, and they're having a little back and forth, and the security guard goes, "Oh look, that's Eddie," and he just smiles as he walks away. And I thought, no, I hate that sort of shit. I fucking hate that sort of shit. I fucking hate it. There was so much at the beginning of Venom. The early part of the film, I thought, my God, this is going to be a fucking terrible movie. It did improve, obviously, once the symbiote became part of Eddie Brock. But even then, the ending became very cliche. That fucking villain.
Yeah.
I'll be honest with you. I never heard of Riot before. I only know of Carnage as the other symbiote. So my knowledge is
There's a few
limited.
symbiotes. There's like Carnage. There's Anti Venom. There's oh fuck, who's the other one? Oh bloody hell, yellow and red.
Red one's
Not red.
Carnage.
Huh? No, that
Red is
Carnage is
Carnage.
red and black. But there's a yellow and red
There's
symbiote.
actually Carnage, which I've only been hearing about recently. The Carnage himself is the spawn of Venom, so hopefully they'll keep that in play in the next movie. And obviously, once you start fucking teasing Carnage, you're gonna have to bring him into play. So the next Spider-Man movie has to have Carnage in it, surely.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
I can see that happening.
Yeah.
I did have actually something else I wanted to fucking say. It just slipped my bloody mind. But Ginge?
I've got nothing else to say on that matter. It's just gonna play out the way it always plays out with Sony Pictures, and then you'll have Marvel coming in and doing damage control later when they need Spider-Man in there. But I mean, the reality is, it's us that want Spider-Man in there because you can't just leave such a brilliant character development in Far From Home just hanging like that. It's ridiculous, and you write them out of the whole universe. It's from a fan's perspective, it's just annoying. But from Disney's perspective, they're like, look at all of this. All this is coming in the future. Look, all of these characters. And people will forget about Spider-Man.
Yeah, I think eventually we will move on from it.
Yeah, of course.
There's a lot of stuff to look forward to. Spider-Man's
Yeah.
not the be all and end all. Once again,
Yeah.
Disney did put themselves in this position, so if they didn't, then maybe we wouldn't give a shit as much. I mean, Spider-Man's flopped before. I'm still pissed off, Ginge, regarding the Amazing Spider-Man. I thought Amazing Spider-Man 2 was a shit film, but
Yeah.
you leave a cliffhanger like that with the Sinister Six on the line and all that, and Rhino fucking finally in his suit and all that shit. I want to see the film turned into a trilogy. I want to see that Garfield stuff turned into a trilogy just for that alone.
I mean, what
I
annoys
really want
me?
to.
Okay, the film was panned. It still made $760 million. It didn't flop. It just didn't make as much money as they wanted. So then they just scrapped it. It's like you don't scrap it. You make people come back for the third in a big way. But they just gave up because they're fucking idiots. So yeah, I think whatever, man. It's Sony Pictures. They're fucking morons. Them and Fox I always regarded as two of the worst run studios in Hollywood, full of fucking nepotism and like Lauren Schuler Donner is the absolute bloody worst producer for me. Like she's the one that's retarded the fucking X-Men franchise so much. If you didn't have someone like Bryan Singer in there who's got balls enough to keep them in check, then you just end up with a mess. Or people like Matthew Vaughn. So if you end up with weak directors like Ratner and Kimber, you end up with dog shit. And Singer has given up all fucking hope of life but because his whole life was crumbling around him because he's a fucking kiddie fiddler and that. So when you have no strong producers like Feige at the helm, then you end up with a rudderless, directionless franchise, which is what X-Men became. It just became a mess, obsessed with fixing itself, but making it worse.
Yeah,
It's
I still
such a
haven't
shame,
bothered. I
you
still
know.
haven't bothered. Like, I was debating with your best mate at the block, Chris, because he
That's
said,
your
you know,
best mate, not my best mate. I'm not even
Oh,
friends with him.
oh, he
Like,
tried
come
to best
on.
me as a friend the
That's
other
your
day. I'm
best
not having
friend.
that.
Come on.
is your best. Anyway, look. Regardless, yeah, he said that it doesn't, it doesn't matter, who gets it. They're still gonna make it, and we're still gonna watch it. That's not the case.
No, it's not the case.
I don't give a fuck about the Dark Phoenix. I will watch it. I can watch it right now. I just can't be asked. Only recently I pulled my finger out to watch fucking Venom. I think I saw it 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Only now am I watching. I just told you on the message earlier. I'm watching Cobra Kai. I just saw the first episode. Things, you have to be really good nowadays. You can't just put the branding on and expect me to fucking just go and watch it. If it's shit, I can tell from the get go. I ain't gonna bother. Look at Swamp Thing. Swamp Thing fucking absolutely failed. I mean, that should have been an absolute fucking hit. But no, it flopped from the beginning. I think not many people even know it exists. So this notion that we're all going to come and see it, no, I don't think that's the case. I'll watch it in my own good time, but I'm not going to just jump out and see it. I mean, you're going to be getting
with
by the way.
with
To be
Swamp
fair,
Thing,
the only movies that I'm actually going to the cinema and paying for are Marvel movies, for the most part. Like, for the past few years, like, I think that all the movies I've watched were superhero movies. Well, I did watch some
that and
DC
John Wick
films
and a couple
at
of
the cinema, but you know,
yeah. I mean,
not
to be fair,
Aquaman.
yeah, you're not wrong. I I've yeah, the main reason I'll go to the cinema is to watch either the MCU films or
Star Wars.
the John Wick. Well, yeah, Star Wars, but I didn't go see Solo. That's the first time I've never watched a Star Wars film in the cinema because I've even watched the original trilogy when they re-released it and things like that. So yeah, I never saw Star Wars Solo, but yeah, John Wick, Fast and Furious, and MCU films are the only things I'll go and watch in the cinema these
Fast and
days.
Furious needs
Oh,
to
it's my guilty pleasure.
I
die.
wouldn't waste my
Yeah, it is, but
money on Fast and Furious.
It needs to die in a
no,
fire.
it
If
doesn't.
that's your guilty, if that's your guilty
It should
pleasure,
have died
that's
when the
fine, but I
dude
wouldn't waste
died. And I know
my
that this
time.
is very macabre of me to say such words, but it should have died then.
I
Just
personally would rather
oh,
watch Star Trek than Fast and the fucking Furious,
Well,
even though
Picard
it's
is
been
coming
shit
back.
recently.
yeah, but that's because you're a big Star Trek fan and things like that. Which again, fair enough. For me, Fast and Furious, I don't even like cars, but it's just a guilty pleasure.
I
I
mean,
like
yeah, that's why you
silly
like it.
action
Because people
films,
who actually respect cars can be asked to see this fucking
Yeah,
abomination of a
but
fucking series. I mean, come on.
I like cars, but I don't like it to the extent the Fast and the Furious does it. I mean, they might as well just turn some of those fucking
Yeah, here's the
tailpipes
thing.
into vaginas
I
and fuck the
like
shit out of them.
cars. I
Because
don't like
it's just
cars enough to
ridiculous
want to
how they
fuck
treat those
them.
fucking
You
cars.
know?
yeah,
I like, yeah, I like all the gadgetry in the cars and all this, the look of it, fine, but that's about it. It's quite superficial, really. Other than that, I don't give a fuck about the mechanics. When they pop the hood, oh look, it's a nice looking engine. That's about it. I won't fucking don't give a shit about the fucking valves and the fucking all that bollocks. You know what I mean? It's
but
yeah.
that's not what Fast and Furious is anymore. That's what it was. Now it's just literally, oh, there's a mission, the world's gonna end, and instead of using an entire military to fix it, we need these very specific good drivers to solve the problem. And I'm like, yeah, let's go. And you just
like
sit there
sending miners into outer space to
Yeah,
destroy a
this is
meteorite.
a movie for
dumb
simple
stunts.
minds, you know?
It's just, yeah, you know.
Yeah, exactly.
I love it. Like, I'll sit there and watch a fucking Steven Seagal film and
Fuck
all
this
those kind of
guy.
shitty action films,
Fuck this
and just be
guy.
like, woo!
You
This
know
is
that
I
he's
think-
Russian now?
Yeah, I know. He's a wanker.
he's always been an idiot, but now he's like,
Yeah, he's a
yeah,
wanker. He's a Russian wanker now.
yeah.
The Gal films I would watch are the ones only from the 90s. I think anything after the 90s is shit. I mean, when you see these recent ones and you see this fucking giant fucking round cunt, trying to do like
But that's the thing. Listen, just to be clear, I don't watch these because I think they're amazing. I watch them for the comedy value. And the best part with Steven Seagal stuff is even something as simple as jumping from a sweep kick. He's using a fucking stunt double, and you can tell it's a stunt double because he goes from blob to twig, back to blob, and you watch it. And for me, it's the best comedy around because it's just so fucking hilarious.
Okay, I know what you mean. Like, there he is. There's this pensioner looking fat fuck, and he's hanging around with these fucking homeboys, yeah. And like, yeah, I'm one of the guys and shit like that. He just looks so ridiculous. Yeah, and then like some hot fucking bird, like looks at her like he's James Bond or something, and like, yeah, he just like is up, yeah, that's good, yeah. And I was like, fucking hell, man, you just can't buy this shit. It's fucking ridiculous. Oh, I mean,
it's ridiculous. Like, I can't stop watching it.
From my perspective, my eyes would have rolled so fucking much, and it would be 360ing. I would look like a fucking slot machine. Oh my god! For me, it's also a bit painful as well, Pandy. When you see when he peaked it at Under Siege, and you see what he fucking does now, like fuck me, mate.
Yeah,
I mean,
like to not even be bothered to jump.
Are we still talking about Seagal?
What's that?
Are we still talking about Steven Seagal?
Yeah.
For fuck's sake, man. Speaking of like martial art wonkers, what the fuck happened to Jean-Claude? I haven't seen him in so many years. He had such a nice ass.
He was around. He had a really, really good series on Amazon Prime that they never renewed for a second season, which is frustrating. It was
still
like
doing the
a piss take. Yeah, still doing
Johnson.
the splits, but it was Jean-Claude Van Johnson, and it was just him taking the piss out of himself kind of thing. He's done some really good fucking films recently. Even the JCVD, which was the kind of film that relaunched him back into the spotlight. It was excellent. But again, when you're old and you're not like,
I feel that he really wants to express his acting chops, but all he's ever going to get is martial art films, unfortunately for him.
And you see JCVD, you're like, holy crap, this guy can actually act. It's just that he has to act in English, and it doesn't come across as easy. Whereas in JCVD, I think the whole thing is like in Belgian or French. And
French.
Class.
The language is Belgian.
Yeah. Oh, in Belgium, I think they speak Flemish.
Yeah, Flemish, but yeah.
They speak French and Flemish.
Yeah. Something like that.
Dutch,
I don't know. I'm not a language expert here. Like, come on. Seriously.
But yeah. So
I haven't seen JV. Gone. You're saying?
Just want to move on to Star Wars quickly, or is that not on the subject?
I don't know. Did we talk about Star Wars yesterday? Is there anything new?
Just briefly
Sorry.
Yeah, the trailer dropped for the D23 crowd. We're getting it tomorrow, and then it shows like Rey wielding a double lightsaber in like a red double lightsaber, and in Sith clothing.
I heard about that.
And that's really the only new thing I have to bring.
I'm not gonna watch that trailer.
I am, because I don't give a fuck about the film.
Is that the one that has the funny looking poster thingy?
Yeah, the one I posted in Nerd Nation.
Yeah,
that god awful poster.
Yeah, that looks like a World of Warcraft kind of thing.
Yeah, it's like a game from 2001.
Yeah.
PC.
Okay, I'm gonna actually put it into the overlay here because it's funny as fuck, and I'm gonna do this. We're gonna do this, people. Yes, we are. There.
I mean, Palpatine is so badly CGI'd.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty ridiculous. Yeah, it's like
I thought that was
an old ass MMO.
Yeah,
I thought it was
it's
Clone
terrible.
Wars, bro.
You thought that was Clone Wars? No,
Yeah,
that's Rise of Skywalker. It's awful.
fucking hell.
It's
You know, shit.
I mean, what is LucasArts in competition with Sony to who makes the worst fucking movie posters? It's terrible.
Yeah.
Or you saw the Spider-Man Far From Home poster. That was a fucking
Oh,
joke.
they were awful,
Yeah.
awful. Homecoming and Far From Home. But
The Far From Home
I
poster, oh, it's bad, man. It's really, it looks like somebody just done it on Photoshop.
yeah, it's like a fan made fucking thing.
I've seen better fan made ones.
Yeah, exactly.
But that looks, honestly, Palpatine looks cartoony.
Yeah,
He really does. I don't know about you guys. He looks like a fucking cartoon.
He looks like
That's
a
why it
villain
looks so bad.
from fucking World of Warcraft or something
yeah,
20
exactly,
years
something
ago.
like that.
Yeah.
Like Legacy of Pain or things like that from all them years
It's a
ago.
bit
That's
bugged
what
out
he
now.
looks like.
There's been some big revelations, and the film hasn't been revealed. You know, I don't want all the revelations to be revealed in fucking trailers. That's what ruins movies. And I'm done. That's why I'm not
Normally,
going to see the trailer.
yeah. So normally, when it comes to Star Wars, I'd be avoiding spoilers. But after Last Jedi, I don't care. I'm just watching all the
Yeah, but
trailers,
that was
eating
Ryan
up all the crap because I don't care about this trilogy. Moving forward, I don't give a fuck about this trilogy. So, you know, I
The
don't.
fact that Johnson do the second movie was the most stupidest idea ever. Like, okay, now you do something with it. Like, for fuck's sake, you should have had all three films set out from the beginning. You know what I mean? Instead of just working it out as it goes. Let's fucking Star Wars,
Hang
man.
on. No, Abrahams did have everything set out. Johnson came in and tore everything up. That's why Last Jedi is such a fucking mess. And
I mean, that you should
sense.
never have gone to Johnson in the first place.
They
Maybe
should have
just as
stuck
a
with
director.
Abraham for all three.
I'm just
They
saying, or even if it had to be J.J. Abrahams, then so be it. But the point is, one person should have a vision for the movies to keep the continuity. Because now I feel like fucking Abrahams has had to is going to have to basically just address certain things because of the continuity of Last Jedi.
It has to fix all the mess that Johnson made. Abrahams' trilogy was written out. It was there. All you had to do was just follow the blueprint and just add a few things that you wanted. But Johnson came in and was just like, nah, I'll just make it a shitty fucking car chase in space and then just treat everything as a joke. The only thing I liked is what he did with the Force. That was it. The way he explored the Force. That was nice and new and interesting.
I mean, you know, the Princess Leia scene was like one of the worst things ever.
Not that.
I wish he died.
I'm talking about Rey and Kylo's connection and Yoda breaking into the physical.
At the same time, I didn't like the fact that the way the force projection. I got no problem with that too, but he still made Luke look like a fucking pussy, and that's why I couldn't stand about it. He wasn't there; he was only there in image. He was a fucking hologram.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? I couldn't stand. He wasn't fighting. He was just buying fucking. That's what he's gonna do. I'm gonna buy you fucking time and then die. It's like, fuck, man. Yeah, it's just so. And Broom Boy at the end, anyone could be. I mean, oh god. I mean, Johnson, like, mate, if this was the first movie, it wouldn't be so bad. But the second one is, the second one in the trilogy.
What you're talking about. I'm lost.
Don't worry. See, listen, you dodged the bullet with Star Wars because we're still clamoring for something good. And reality is, we've only had Rogue One that's been good. Everything else has been dog shit. To be perfectly honest,
to watch them. It's the same thing.
Even the prequels is shit.
That you do. Like you keep on fucking talking about EA and you keep buying their fucking games.
I don't buy EA games.
You don't?
I don't know.
I only get.
The only game of theirs I'm looking to get is Fallen Order, and that's the first EA game I would have bought since this cunt made me get FIFA 17. And that was the first game of EA's I bought since Army of Two. I don't buy EA games.
Oh, so it's Zam that buys them.
Zam buys EA.
I only get FIFA. Even then,
Fuck FIFA, man. I mean, don't they have the Pro Evo?
Well, my community plays it, Chris. And
that's what people used to play.
I constantly tell them, I constantly tell these fuckers when I'm with them, that Ultimate Team is a stupid pile of shit. Get your fucking heads together. Stop wasting your money on this bollocks. I campaign against Ultimate Team for these guys, but I want them to understand it's a fucking cash cow. I mean, every year you're having to fucking start all over again. It's fucking
That's
ridiculous.
the problem, though. The problem with
Yeah,
your
and people
crowd
are
is they're
buying
fucking the
them though.
non-casuals that are the fucking problem with gaming today. They're the ones that, like Randy, goes and fucking buys, pre-orders the Ultimate Edition of Black Ops 4, and that game shoved in a whole load of fucking microtransactions 3 months after its release. And people like him every year will go and fucking buy it and lap it up and rub their nipples at it, not knowing what their actions have so many consequences for everyone else. And we're all fucking roped into this. I'm not attacking like Randy in particular, but that type of crowd of
I
people
don't know who
who
Randy
sit there
is,
and just
but I
don't care.
agree. But yeah,
They don't
casuals, man, casuals. They keep
casuals,
buying
man, or
EA and
whales. Not even
Activision. Fuck
casuals.
them both.
They're whales because they play games for hours on end, so they're not casuals. But they
No,
what the
no, no,
industry
no,
calls
no.
whales.
Casual is not a person. That doesn't mean how many hours you play. It's about what you play, man. Like you can be called a gamer if all you play is fucking Call of Duty or FIFA.
I see what you mean. Yeah,
Fuck
Call of
that
Duty,
shit.
FIFA, the same
Like the
games over and
FIFA
over.
people, okay, they're just lazy. Like go out in the field and play football if you can play, cause that ain't football, bitch.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, you have to fucking join the military and fucking shoot bad guys for fuck's sake. Fuck you, fucking cunts.
Oh
I love
man,
playing FIFA.
I
Man.
wish they would all just go and go fight for real and okay they'll all die in the end, but I don't
Look,
give a fuck. We don't need them casuals.
listen, I like playing Call of Duty. I like Call of Duty, but
Casual.
I'm not going to keep buying it every single year now that they keep introducing loot boxes and all this other monetized fucking shit. All right, with FIFA, you can get away with it because it doesn't impede the game. Okay, you can have FIFA, you can play your football, you don't have to do Ultimate Team,
Yeah,
doesn't
but
impede the game.
still, you're supporting
But,
EA at the end
yeah.
of it.
Exactly. And Call of Duty and things like that, like, I can't justify keep buying it every fucking year, especially now. Before you bought it, you paid, that was it. You might want to pay for some DLC. I never used to pay for DLC either because I'm not paying 30 quid for 4 maps. That's just fucking ridiculous. But gamers have to, and it's the fucking casuals. They're the ones that have to just turn around and suddenly realize, yeah, you know what? No more of this. And it is slowly working. But the problem is, the more it works, the more aggressive the monetization is becoming from the games companies. So Activision's profits, they make good profits. And what do? To maintain those profits, they lay off it was like 80 staff or 800 staff or something crazy like that. And this year their stock took a plummet, and the aggressive monetization on
Jason.
Black Ops went up. So we're in a situation where full out boycott by everyone, it needs to happen. Like EA is suffering.
Are not suffering enough. They need to
No,
suffer
they're not suffering
more.
enough, but all they have, their only cash cow now is FIFA. That's it. That's their only moneymaker. Is FIFA. Maybe Apex Legend. And look
It's all
at the
about
shit they
people
pulled
not
with that.
buying into Ultimate Team. If they stop buying into Ultimate Team, they'll lose that as well. I mean, I
Exactly.
personally don't understand it. I never spent a fucking penny on Ultimate Team. Never will. I think it's the most stupidest concept ever. I just can't even get into it remotely. But people are into it. There's so many ways of being competitive on FIFA without doing Ultimate Team. It's fucking ridiculous. But I want Ronaldo on the right. I want fucking Messi on the left. You know, I want fucking maybe David Silva. You know, they want to make the Ultimate Team, so to speak, and that's and they make people gamble. And I just, it's really scary what EA have done. You know, like they're turning children into gamblers, and I can't stand it. You know, it's like when I watch fucking TV. When I watch Arsenal Fan TV, and you always see a Betfair fucking advert, and you know how many kids watch fucking Arsenal Fan TV.
Yeah.
Yeah, stuff like that. It's not good. Roberto, welcome to the stream.
Hey, you get me fresh faced.
Yes. Yeah.
Sorry.
Did you shave, dude? You missed the spot.
Yeah, we've talked about a few things. We brought up Spider-Man because we now know that the deal between Sony and Marvel hasn't gone through, and people are still hoping for something to change. But for now, Spider-Man's not in the MCU for now. Um, we talked about Steven Seagal as well, which was interesting. If you want anything to say
Yeah,
about
he's an
that,
idiot.
and we're now talking about video games, mainly EA. You want to add into any of those three subjects?
The only EA game I really have ever played is SimCity. I like the old EA logo that says "Challenge Everything." That was like my favorite logo.
Oh my god.
Except our profits.
Do you
Challenge
remember how
everything
good
except our
EA
profits.
Well,
used to
yeah, like
be?
I think the last EA game I ever paid for was Sims 2. No, first and last, because I was a pirate since I was a very young child. Okay. but yeah, Sims 2 I actually bought and a couple of the expansions, and that's it. That's all the money I have ever given to EA, and that was back in 2000. I want to say
No, I
two.
don't. I don't play a lot of EA games. I mean,
Yeah,
as I
fuck
said, I
'em.
mean that's the last SimCity 4 or SimCity 3. I think is the last game that I remember playing that actually had the EA
Oh,
logo.
wait. Does Dragon Age 2 count as an a game, or was it only BioWare back then? I don't remember. Because I paid that too for the PlayStation.
Which game?
That's an EA game.
Dragon Age 2.
It's EA published.
Yeah, but BioWare got fucked as soon as fucking EA got into the.
Because that's what EA do. They buy up all the companies. The fact that BioWare is still
Yeah, but
standing is
BioWare
terrible.
was so good though. I mean,
Yeah, I don't disagree. They were amazing. The fucking games that they used to make were amazing. But the problem is when a publisher buys you, they stick you with one genre and that's it. They're like, you're responsible for this. This company is responsible for this. That and that's it. You get boxed in. You limit what you can do. When that flops, bye
look,
bye
to be
job, bye bye
fair, I
studio,
wouldn't
bye bye
mind
everything.
BioWare doing just the things that they do well, like Dragon Age, Mass Effect, but do them fucking well. Because after, like the last ones are shit. Like Inquisition, okay, it wasn't a bad game, but it wasn't an amazing game. Like that came out in late 2004, correct?
I don't know.
Inquisition. I never played it.
I think.
I
Well,
played it.
the graphics were meh. The story was okay. It was way too long. Okay, the character relationships were good because that's what. Wait, why is there an
Sorry,
echo
sorry,
loop that
sorry,
I?
sorry. That's me. That's me. My bad.
Always you. Always you.
Yes,
Always,
sorry,
yeah.
dude.
Anyway, so
Always you.
character relationships were good, but overall the game was mediocre. I'm not even gonna talk about Mass Effect Andromeda, because that was no Mass Effect. That
Yeah.
was, oh
Dumbed
my
down rubbish.
god, like, okay.
Those eyes. Those fucking
Oh,
eyes, man. It
oh,
reminds me of the
hello.
things you stick on the toys.
That's what Mass Effect looked like.
Yeah,
Yeah, man.
but I'm
Those
so
fucking
sad for
eyes.
BioWare, man, because they were so good back in the
Yeah.
day.
I mean,
No, another big.
I miss Westwood Studios so fucking much. And Raven Software that got eaten up by Activision. Like, honestly,
Yeah, and fuck Activision too. Because
oh
fuck
no,
'em.
yeah, I hate Activision more than EA. Just because they had they had all the properties. They had the Marvel property, and after Ultimate Alliance 2, they did like a okay Spider-Man game, and that was it. And then that was it. It just fucking disappeared. They did nothing. They just Call of Duty, Call of Duty, Call of Duty. It's like go fuck your
That's what
mother.
they
You
do, because
fucking
that's
cunt.
what sells, man.
They I just but that's the annoying thing. It's just like
Casuals.
broaden your fucking your genres. Like you just focus on Call of Duty, and they just fuck 'em. They did, yeah. These companies they wind me up. They swallow up all the big studios, and I'm hoping now that obviously like I think digital is now at 52% as opposed to physical sales, which is actually causing a boost in independent studios because of it, because it's less overheads by doing that. So
Look,
I'm hoping
I
we
think
get a nice boom of
Activision, I think the only game from Activision that I actually liked was Bloodlines because I'm a vampire fan. No other
Film
reason.
game, yeah.
Which was good for then, but
Yeah,
still it wasn't that that it wasn't executed perfectly. Let's say.
yeah,
Hello?
yeah. Hello.
Yeah, hello, what? The fuck are you
Which
guys
Sorry, I
doing?
thought I lagged for a sec.
um,
You were talking, then everyone. You just cut out. I was just wondering what happened.
yeah. If you
We're
just
all still
basically,
here. Can you get rid of
yeah,
us,
we're still
Zach?
here. For me, gaming died around about the time or 2006. That's when gaming died for me. After that,
Oh
with
no,
the
no,
PS3,
no, man, no,
with the
man.
PS3 and the Xbox 360, and all the fucking everything was just first-person shooters, first-person fucking
Dude, what
shooters.
the fuck are you talking about? Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me?
Listen,
No, no, no,
listen.
no, 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 no. All
I'm
the
talking
fucking
about the caliber of games and how many different genres there were. We peaked in 2006, and since then it's just slowly
that
declined
is
into
bullshit.
mediocrity
No, that's not
and,
true.
and
There are good
limited
games. There
releasing.
are good games, but maybe one, you're not good enough in gaming, or two,
No,
you haven't expanded enough to fucking
no,
find them,
Oh, stop with the
man.
no,
patronising,
I
Chris.
can give
nothing
you a
to
list
do
of
with
a
that,
hundred good
Christine.
games
Sorry,
after
that's very
2006.
patronizing. Okay, that's very demeaning. Sorry. All right, that's no because okay, my collection of games is like vast. It was vast in terms of the different types. Now I struggle to fucking find anything, and then you find something, it's heavily monetized. It's not like it used to be. It used to be you walk into like a fucking game, which is like GameStop, whatever, and you just be like, I'll take this, I'll get that, get this, get that. An RTS, a stealth game, a fucking strategy
Here's
game, an
the thing,
RPG
Pani,
game.
though. Back in the
These days,
day, we didn't have the same demands from games. You know, because the more we grow and the more we play, you want new things, you want better things, you want better graphics, what have you. But you know, there are limits to what can be done, and there are limits to how fresh a game can be. And also, don't forget that there's a lot of nostalgia playing into it, because there are games that I played like 20 years ago, and I would gladly go back and play them again. That doesn't make them good games necessarily. It just they're connected with the nostalgia of back then, that I was playing this game because this is what was available. You know, because if you go
Chris,
back and you
we get
check,
sold a lie,
yeah.
Chris. We get sold a lie a lot. Back in 2012, the Watch Dogs 2 trailer for a start, in that infamous trailer, and what we ended up getting was far from it. Downgraded graphics. You
the
know, we
Watch
get
Dogs
told one
One, not two.
particular thing. Sorry.
Watch Dogs One.
I never played
Yeah,
that one.
okay, Watch Dogs 1. Yeah, back in 2012. We get sold a lie, and we don't get what we're supposed to. I mean, like No Man's Sky is a prime example as well. I mean,
Yeah,
Sean Murray bullshitted his way throughout that fucking
Yeah, but
game.
No
yeah.
Man's Sky,
What was
though,
shown,
along
but
with
what was
some
shown
others,
was
eh,
the trailer for No Man's Sky and what he said we could do, like fight in space battles. No, that doesn't happen. You know, you might have one or two little skirmishes, but proper
yeah,
battles.
I agree. But on the other
You
hand,
know,
it was one person doing that though, and maybe
Also,
he had
we
different
get
expectations
told
of
lies
what
all
he
the
would
time, though.
make.
But we get
yeah,
told
but
lies
he's
all.
so bullshit. He should have kept his mouth shut on what you could do in it, and you could have do it. And look, we're here. I mean, you're a big Oblivion fan, okay? Look how fucking far Bethesda has fucked up. They're an independent studio. They're not. They're privately owned. They're not on the stock market. Yet they pull the same shit, the same shenanigans as EA, as Activision, with aggressive
I agree.
monetization, and they have the worst, most glitchiest games.
That's the
Okay,
thing, though. They do have the worst, most glitchiest games, but the games give the player so much freedom that we're still gonna keep buying them because of that freedom. We can create a character that looks however the fuck we want it to look, go wherever we want, do whatever. That freedom is what's missing from any other games.
but
And
Fallout
this is
76
and this is
now has that creativity is all monetized. for the most part.
Well, and this is where Bethesda will finally fail.
But this is where every games company has gone. Though. This is what I'm telling you.
But that's the
Before, when you
problem I
used to have
have.
such a huge selection, I understand games are expensive to make now, but I don't necessarily need like massively improved graphics and all of that. The core to any game is keep the gameplay fun, enjoyable, and
No, that
simple,
thing
and
about
then
being
everything else
expensive, that's
just falls
bullshit,
into
man. That's
place.
bullshit. They just want to make extra and extra and extra money without investing into something good. Because there are good games, like, that,
Yeah,
that,
no,
that,
that's
that,
what
that
you're
they're
right. They
good.
want to make more and more money without investing in anything good. That's right.
Yeah, because that's the problem. Because if
Yeah,
you
that's
if you
that's
if you
exactly
make a
it. That's
good
what I'm
game,
saying.
yeah, if you make a good game, it's gonna make money. But they want to make money without making good games. That's the
Yeah,
problem, and people keep
that's the
buying them.
problem. And people can still eat it up, and that is the problem.
Didn't you buy that Anthem thing, Zam?
I
No,
bought
that was
Anthem,
Ginge.
but I bought it second hand. I didn't buy it first hand,
You
and
still
I
playing
sold
it?
it. It was shit.
Oh, he sold it.
Yeah, I got rid of it.
Yeah,
No, I got rid of it.
that
I got
game.
rid of
That
it.
game was a lie as well. They sold us a lie on that game too. You
Yeah.
know, so yeah,
What
you get
game?
sold a lie a lot. What you
You look
can
at
do,
my
what you can't
face when that game first released. I
Which
was so
one?
hyped, and the more they talked about it, the more I was like, I'm not gonna buy this game. I'm not gonna buy this game. And then I bought it secondhand, like really fucking cheap. And I was like, the flying is great. Everything else is just so short-sighted.
Like seriously, the only games that I buy full price nowadays are from CD Projekt and perhaps a
And they
couple of
deserve
others. Yeah,
every
cause,
penny.
cause they actually make good fucking games, and
Yeah.
like we've been waiting for Cyberpunk. I don't even know how many years now, but I know that it's gonna be a good game. I know that you're not gonna like the like first person shit, but I'm okay with that. Like I played Deus Ex, it was fun. I was okay, and I know it's gonna be a good fucking game in every respect.
And people are gonna buy it.
Roberto,
Yeah, they're
Roberto, you
gonna
got
buy
anything
it
to say?
because it's gonna be objectively good.
That's
That's how you
absolutely
make
Roberto,
fine.
money.
get a word in, Roberto.
Huh?
Get a word in, mate. I'm sure you got something to say.
Not really. I mean, a lot of the games you guys are talking about, I'm not. Look, if you want my like brief, like I'm a mark when it comes to video games. Like I'll play a game that I am interested in the genre. Like, and I'm more talking about like I hate first person shooter games or even third person shooter games, but there was a game that came out on PlayStation 2 called that was The Punisher, and I ate that whole game up because I thought it was so much fun.
Because it
But
was the Punisher.
yeah, because it was
THQ,
Punisher.
again, another amazing studio that fucking blundered its way into oblivion. Anyway, sorry, Carl.
But I mean, like like I do not like shoot 'em up games. But another example is Dirge of Cerberus. It was based on Final Fantasy VII with Vincent. I ate it up because I like the genre. So I mean, I'm kind of horrible at these conversations because I'm like, if the genre is fits me, like I don't like fighting games, but it's just like I get like a ton of Dragon Ball Z games because I love Dragon Ball Z. So it's like I'm kind of hard to talk because you guys are probably right about all these things, but it's just like
No,
I
you
don't.
have a right to an opinion, man.
Well, I know it's my opinion, but it's just like you guys are more the you guys have really good points. Like with Cyberpunk, I like Keanu Reeves. Like,
Everyone likes Keanu Reeves, man. Come on.
but it's like I don't know. I mean, I just.
But yeah,
I
fighting
mean,
games though, fighting games is where everything fucking started for me almost. Cause I wasn't interested in Pac-Man when I was 6 or 7. I liked Street Fighter. so
I
so
think
so I'm not gonna go
I'm worried
hating
for
on fighting
Cyberpunk.
games.
I think it's going to be put on a pedestal, that game, and I hope it delivers. I really do. First person or not, even though I'm not a first person fan myself, I really hope that game delivers.
I used
But
to
if it
think
does, I'll
like
fucking get
that,
it.
honestly, but after trying a few first person games, okay, generally speaking, I prefer a third person RPG. Although, to be fair, like in most games where I have to shoot a bow or a gun, I prefer to do the ranged from first person, so I can actually see what the fuck it is I'm shooting. But you know,
Hoping I want to be first person, of course.
and I think that actually first person for Cyberpunk actually fits. If you want to see how that works, play Deus Ex. It's a good example. I love
Deus
this
Deus
series.
Ex is a great game, but it would have been 10 times better in third person, especially considering all the jumping around and climbing you could do.
And the
It,
covering.
yeah, and all the covering and all of that. Well, at least when you cover, it's in third person, so
Yeah,
that was
exactly.
one
That's what
thing
I
they
mean.
got right. But they should. I'm just saying there should always be an option. Game, but this is again. This falls back to the lack of creativity in games. So let's take, for example, Red Dead Redemption and GTA 5. You can switch between third and first person.
Mhm.
So you can have that option. Every game should really come with that option. It's completely inexpensive to do. And just have the option. You just why do you have to
I
limit
agree
yourself to
partially
one? So
because
yeah,
some games just like in order to properly immerse yourself in it, it's just done better in first person.
I
I
disagree.
think
I
I
don't
think
find
Cyberpunk's
first
going to be a
person
VR game.
games immersive at all. I find them jarring and annoying and claustrophobic because your POV in a first person is a lot more narrow than it is in real life. It's so, and I just find it more closed in and annoying. Whereas in third person, I find that much more immersive because you see your whole
You can
environment
see your
surrounding you
ass,
and
which is so
everything.
realistic and immersive.
Huh?
You see your own ass, which is so realistic and immersive.
You know, I'd love to see my own ass. I'd just sit there in a mirror all day and stare at it in Deus Ex. Just,
I was just thinking though, like regarding the VR. I mean, the only thing I think which would make Cyberpunk fantastic in first person is maybe hooking up with VR. I think that would kill it, in my opinion.
Oh
I
yes.
think that
Oh
would make the difference.
yes.
okay, okay. I'm sorry. VR is the greatest fucking thing in the world. Um, I my brother has it, my friend has it, and everything is better in VR. Not just first person. Shut up, Jason. Not just first person immersive. Even Astrobot, the game Astrobot. It's a little platform game, and you see this little robot in front of you. Oh my god, I nearly came because it was so enjoyable. Okay, that is the future of gaming. I've watched VR stuff on YouTube, and the technology is even amazing. So let's just take this glass for example. Okay, now the tech is like when you do this like on the pad, you see the fingers moving in the game, the way you pick things up, the way you
Can you
interact.
scratch your
Like,
balls in VR?
you can probably scratch your balls in VR as well. Okay, you might not get the tension there, but you can scratch your
Like
balls
that.
in VR. And for me, that I love VR so fucking much.
See,
And everything I've played in it, I've
I
just enjoyed.
believe that
If
probably
Cyberpunk was in VR,
well,
you'll never
they
see me
probably
again.
will make it be in VR because it makes sense, you know.
Yeah,
It makes sense. Yeah,
yeah, it
it,
makes.
It makes complete sense, especially since they went for first person view. Like, I need to get VR, man.
Yeah, if they do it in VR, my God, that's it.
uh,
I'm done. You're never gonna see me.
yeah. I'm
I'm
done
gonna
for
wait for
two
some good
years.
reviews as well because the reviews for like Red Dead Redemption they were a bit biased in my opinion. Everyone was sucking on Red Dead on Rockstar's dick, and
Yeah,
then
they
when you
were.
got some like independent reviewers, they were much more grounded with their reviews, the pros and cons of the game. I want some independent reviewers reviewing Cyberpunk before I part with my money. I want this to be a fucking great game. It is first person, but now I thought of VR. I think correlating, I mean, combining those two together is going to be a fucking great experience. And I really, really hope CD Projekt Red delivers on this game because honestly, it's one of the games I'm anticipating for, even though it's
It's
fucking first person.
breathtaking.
Because people look, you know what? This is where I now blame the like people like you now, Chris, because people like you bank on people like CD Project Red as the fucking dog bollocks, the Don Corleone motherfuckers. So if they
They
don't
are the
fucking do
dog's
a good job,
bollocks, man.
if they don't do a good job on this game by my standards, I'm blaming your fucking ass.
Dude, no, I'm sorry,
That.
but fuck off. I've been following CD Projekt Red since 2007. You can fuck right off
Oh, she sounds like a football
because
fan.
I mean, The Witcher 3 was a
they
god
should
awful
be where
game.
the bar is for gaming companies when
Been
it comes to
supporting
gaming.
fucking
Because
CD
I
Project
can
Red
give
since
you, I can
2007.
give
I go to
you,
every away game.
Zam, shut the fuck up. I can give you their whole fucking history of how they came where they are today.
Yeah,
And
history.
it's
Yeah,
fucking
how many cups you won?
impressive. Like the first Witcher game that they made in 2007. If you consider that that was made in an already outdated engine back then, that was the engine where Neverwinter Nights 2 was done. If you remember that game, you
I
don't
don't
because
give
you're
a
a
fuck.
casual.
I
And
Hang
genuinely
on,
it
hang on,
don't.
was
Sam, hang on. What engine did they use for the first one?
Aurora.
Oh, really?
Yes, and it was a fucking impressive game considering how limited that engine was.
Chris,
Then
like Rockstar makes great games, but they're only as good as their
fuck
last game. And Red Dead
Rockstar.
Redemption
No,
was
no, no, no,
a pile of
no.
bollocks.
Rockstar makes the
You're only as
same
good as your
game
last
over
game.
and over.
You know, they've got
They make boring
you know,
games.
you've got to they've got to live up to their they've got to live up to their reputation now because people like you have put them on a pedestal, and people like me
No,
who
no,
don't
no,
know
no.
fuck all compared
We
to
didn't
you
put
because
them on
you
a
are the greatest of all
pedestal.
time when it comes to this
They
shit.
went
You
there.
know, expect the fucking dog,
I
quality
think
fucking
when it
It's
comes to
it's
CD
merit.
Project Red, we're in the minority because they are a much beloved company by the majority of actual gamers. You know,
Due to
so
merit,
people
though, it's not
people like Chris
an earned
King's
hype.
opinion is quite commonplace with a lot of gamers when it comes to like CD Project Red.
Mhm.
So you know,
That's what I've
they
been
don't need
saying.
to be put on a pedestal for us. We're irrelevant. That game is gonna make fucking bank. That game is
Yeah, I
gonna
know.
make.
I don't give a fuck about that
Also,
either. I
Rockstar
just care. I'm
sucks.
looking from a personal perspective. I just hope it's a good game because
Yeah,
a
but
lot
your
of
personal
gamers think that
perspective is pretty ignorant, though, Zam. Because you don't know. But
it's just my personal. It's just for me. Is I don't care how much money it makes.
no,
None of
it's
those
not
things are
about the
important to me.
money,
I just want it
man.
to be personally.
It's
I
not
just
about the
personally
money.
because I'm the one giving. I'm going to be the one playing
Always
it. I'm going to be the one shelling out for it. I want it to be a good game for me.
It's
If
always
I
money.
don't like it, if I personally don't like it, if I think it's generic and all of that shit, I'll call it out regardless of it being CD Projekt Red.
Yeah, but that's fine.
Yeah.
That's what I
Yeah, we
think
don't
it's a good
disagree on
game.
that. But the thing is that they are on a pedestal because they earned it, and it's all due to merit. It's not unearned hype. It's
Yeah,
So there's a lot
that's
you
the
of
thing.
know,
things.
like
Their hype,
they
their
keep
hype is
improving
earned.
upon their work with
Yeah.
every succeeding game. Like
Hey, look, the proof
and
is
they've
going to
been
be in the
doing
pudding
that,
regarding that
and
game,
they've been doing
personally.
that in huge steps. Like if you
The proof
see,
is, the proof is
okay,
going to be pudding on that particular game when it comes out. Not when it's
listen to
finished.
me.
This is not The Witcher. This is a whole different genre as well.
I
Yeah, so let's
know,
just see
but
how it goes.
we're not talking about specific game. We're talking about how the company itself is working. Because if you see, for example, look at Oblivion and
Okay.
Skyrim. Oblivion came
Yeah.
out in 2005, was it? 2006. Skyrim came out in 2011. Okay. Compare the two games. Now, the first Witcher came in 2007. The second one came out in 2012. 2012, yes. Oblivion and
Okay.
Skyrim. Okay, Skyrim was a great improvement compared to Oblivion, but even then, it wasn't all that great, generally speaking, graphic wise and everything wise, and the engine was also pretty limited. If you go from the
Skyrim.
first Witcher game to the second, it was leagues
Mhm.
better, and
Witcher 2
it was
fucking blew me
it was the
away.
same amount of time. Now, when we went from Skyrim to Fallout 4, which was from 2011 to 2015, right, 4 years, and
Mm.
from The Witcher 2 to The Witcher 3, which was 3 years, there is where you see who actually cares about doing a good game. Because in 3 years, CD Projekt Red went from Witcher 2 to a game that was, again, leagues ahead. They create a whole new engine for the new game, and they keep improving. Well, Fallout 4 compared to Skyrim was just a minor fucking improvement. Yeah, it was a new engine, but it still looked like shit.
Okay.
And that's
So
the difference. Yeah.
okay, so what do you expect to get out of this game then, Chris? I mean, you know this company better. Do you expect a
I
game with
expect a
various
game
branches and
that
different
it's
directions and different people and loads of voice work? I mean, what are you thinking this game's going to be like?
yeah, okay. We moved on from Fallout, dude. Stop. You're offline now. Okay. Okay, so I'm expecting open world, which is gonna be, I expect, bigger even than The Witcher 3. Good voice acting, a good story. Graphics are gonna be great. This is the things that I'm sure of. It's gonna be either bug free, or the minor bugs that there might still be there will be addressed right away, as it
You think you'll
was
have like
for the previous
certain
one.
generic things like
And
you know
and I also
XP and
expect
experience and what?
I also expect many free DLCs again, as it was from The Witcher 3, which gave us like one free DLC per week for like 2 or 3 months. I don't even remember how long.
One of those
And
DLCs
and,
was
and
enough to be a game in itself.
no, I'm not talking about the expansion. I'm talking about the free DLCs. But the
Oh, yeah,
expansions, the
right.
expansions were big enough and good enough to be sold as separate games. Like, the stories in these expansions were fucking great.
Mm-hmm.
And I expect that the same is going to be for Cyberpunk, which I think that it's going to be giving us new experiences for at least a couple of years after its release. And the price is going, and the expansion price is probably going to be like the previous one, which is not a full game price. Although, to be fair with you, for the Witcher expansions, they were like fucking full ass games.
They were. Yeah.
Yeah, fair enough. I've played The Witcher, but I never owned it. It's a good game for sure. I did find that guy's gruffly voice to be a bit funny, but other than that, it was a good game. And when it came to Skyrim, I was one of a few people who didn't like that game. Funnily enough, I could not stand the
I hate
combat mechanics in that game. It was awful. It was more,
Well,
it was
yeah.
great as fuck, man. Jesus Christ! I know you're trying to get.
Yeah, that's why we have
slow,
mods, man.
boring.
Skyrim, like, Bethesda games are not. Actually, Bethesda games should not be games. Should be like game resources for the moders to use, because that's what's happening.
Yeah.
Because the stories of Bethesda games are meh.
I
Yeah.
personally, when it comes to this game, I don't want there to be one overarching story. I want your story to be like, okay, if I went down that road today and now this shit's happening to me, and if I start the game again from the beginning, if I go down this road today, that shit's happening to me. I might never meet the fucking people by not going down that road, because I went down that road instead. That's what I want, just to as like the basics of it to a degree. Like, the story becomes your actions, so to speak, and it just unfolds instead. That's really what I want. If they can pull something like that off, I'll be fucking loving it.
Fair enough. Jason?
The game that I played most recently that I was most impressed with was Dragon Quest XI. The graphics were, the graphics were what they were. They were good for, the kind of the graphics that they wanted. And, the game was just so expansive. Like, that game I played 170 hours total on that game, and that was just on the story. I could have kept going, and I could have crafted everything, and I could have did the little pot thingy. I can't remember what it's called now. The little synthesis pot or whatever. Like, there was more to that game that I could have technically done, and I just was like, after 170 hours of just basic gameplay, I was like, wow. But it was a very impressive game. That's the most recent one that really impressed me that I've played. But I mean, as I said, I mean, I'm a mark for certain genres and stuff like that. So, I mean,
So the Cyberpunk game, is that not on your radar?
no, not at all.
Do you know anything about it though?
Nope,
Or
haven't even looked anything into it.
I mean, the game itself. I mean, what disappointed me and Ginge initially
Yeah,
was
first
finding out
person.
the game was first person.
Yeah.
But over the time now, I've obviously accepted it, and my curiosity has started to heighten again regarding this particular game now, especially with the possibility of playing it in VR. I do think it's something you should keep an eye out for. I mean, the genre of cyberpunk is something which is right down your alley anyway.
I
Well,
think they're going to release gameplay in the upcoming week or so, or couple of weeks, or something like that.
I hope so. Yeah, I was hoping for
Yeah, and
something.
I can't wait.
Uh,
Like the
we just
games
need
that I'm
to see it.
waiting for in 2020 is Cyberpunk and Bloodlines 2 for the most part.
I'm gonna get Ghost Recon this year for sure.
Me, I'm not excited about it, but I'm gonna get Ghost Recon, Fallen Order. I'm excited for Watch Dogs 3, though. I'll give them that. I like the
Yeah, yeah,
premise.
yeah. Is
I
that
like
this
the
year?
premise. No, it's March next
Oh
year.
yeah, yeah. I'm fine with that. Yeah, that's a
I
next
like
year
the
game. This
premise.
year,
The
this year it's
Switch.
gonna be
You know, I never played
uh
Watch Dogs.
what yeah,
Watch
Watch
Dogs
Dogs is
2 was really good. The first one was garbage.
oh, see, I love the first one, and I haven't even touched the second one yet.
The second
second
one's
one is a
really
good
You're a
good.
game.
weird
The second one,
motherfucker.
Look,
You own the second one.
I like the story of the first one.
garbage. It was fine. It was just a bit disappointing. That's all. But it wasn't bad,
What
actually.
was that? That was Ubisoft, right?
Yeah, Ubisoft. The
The
boring
second
game.
one gives it a much better vibe to it. Like
I
it's got
love the
more bounce,
characters in it.
more
Yeah,
spirit, it's got more
yeah,
character.
yeah. Good
You know,
characters. The storyline's nothing like amazing, but they did a lot with it, you know. Then they're just going into like London now, and they just ramped it up a gear. It's just like instead of just this is your protagonist, you could be like, well, this is the city of London. You can be that person, you can be this person, you can be that person, you could be a lawyer.
You
You could
know what
you could be a
Ubisoft
lawyer the way
should do?
well,
this is what
Because
concerns me now, Ginge, as well. Like I really hope this game can deliver on. Once
yeah,
again, this
this
is
is
about
it.
games delivering. Yeah, can
Yeah,
it deliver? Can it
and
really
Ubisoft
deliver?
got no
Because
score
people's
respect
expectations
for
are
them.
fucking high.
can I
Yeah,
chime in now?
offer it, dude.
Yeah.
Bitch, anyway. What Ubisoft should do, because they're really good at one thing, and that's copying real world architecture in a game world. They should just do that and let you just go to
Oh,
town.
Ubisoft
Literally.
are good at something else. Ubisoft are good at something else, and
Like,
it's
seriously.
their music.
Oh my god,
Their music is
Sam.
fantastic. Their music is fantastic.
Yeah,
You
their
might not
music is
personally. I
good
think the
too.
music is great. Their
But
music
let
is
me
good.
tell you, uh, I don't know if I told you this, but from Assassin's Creed 2, when I was when we were in Venice, then I was reading a book, and it was describing a place in Venice, and I knew exactly where this place was. I knew
Because of
exactly because
Assassin's
I've
Creed.
been there. Yeah, on Assassin's Creed. It was so.
Yeah.
It was
No, they did it.
borderline
They did.
orgasmic, I'd say.
No, they did a really good job with like London and with Paris as well in the Assassin's Creed games.
Yeah, I was
Um,
recognizing the places in Syndicate and not.
yeah. uh, but look, I mean, yeah, it's going to be interesting. I am looking forward to Watch Dogs 3. My only gripe with, well, my biggest gripe with all games companies is the gameplay mechanics are so basic. Like we've gone backwards instead of forwards.
Well,
Like,
you're a basic bitch. What do you expect?
no, I'm not a basic bitch. That's the thing. I don't want basic, like in terms of the game mechanics, you know. Like you look at like GTA 5 for example. I'm like, I've got more agility than this fucking thing. What's it do? Oh, it's a little stomp on the ground. Oh, trip over.
I hated the graphics on that one. Like that's what, and I think this is one of the reasons why I'll always like Saints Row better than GTA.
Yes.
Saints Row is fucking fantastic.
Saints Row is a billion times better than GTA because it just went, fuck it, let's just go to space. Fuck it, now we're with the devil. Now we're doing zombies. It was just
Yeah,
like,
man, it's ridiculous and I love
it's
it.
ridiculous and it was brilliant. Saints Row 3 was just phenomenal.
I want.
Yeah, and the
I want.
graphics are better. I can see the asses are better.
Yeah,
You can
the-
run
the
around with a
asses were
thong.
great.
Yeah, the asses were great. Like the graphics in GTA are fucking shit.
Yeah.
I think I want an Assassin's Creed game, not necessarily set in modern day, but maybe Second World War era, Cold War era, something like that. You know, really just to really change it up. Because
Finding the fucking
honestly, I
part.
think
Exactly.
I
I
Sorry?
mean,
agree.
I mean, we had an Assassin's Creed
I
game set
mean,
in Middle
like,
Earth.
you know what I mean, Sam? Like, fast
Yeah,
forward,
yeah.
you know.
I
I
mean,
agree
apparently,
with
Watch Dogs, some people say Watch Dogs is the modern day Assassin's Creed, but I'm not. What do you think of that? Like, seeing that Aiden Pierce is actually an assassin.
it's not the
What do you
same.
think of that?
That's my big mindset. Like when I was playing Watch Dogs 1, I was like, this is like Assassin's Creed in modern day. Like
Yeah,
it's modern technology.
This is like the only thing Ubisoft can do. Right?
I
Well,
look.
what
I,
I tried
I like
seeing.
Watch Dogs 1. I like the character. I like the story. I thought the story was compelling. I thought that that the gameplay mechanics were pretty good. As I said, I mean, but I'm an easy mark. So
play the second one. If you haven't played the second one, play the second one. It's really good.
I know I have it, and I've been right. Look, I just
Brotherhood.
Kingdom Hearts 3 right now. I'm working my way through Kingdom Hearts 3.
Oh my god.
I don't understand the
game-
appeal
that-
for that game, honestly.
What's that? Kingdom Hearts?
Yes.
Me neither, but Kingdom Hearts 3 looks really good.
No,
I mean,
it looks
I'm enjoying
cartoony and there are cartoons in there.
So what?
Why would I want to play with
You've done
cartoons?
right.
I'm
doesn't
so
matter.
obsessed with the graphics. I play the Lego games and I love them.
No,
I
they're not for
don't.
me. I
There's
can't stand the gameplay.
You call us casuals, but you're a snob,
Of
Christine.
course,
You're
I'm
a
a
gaming
snob. Yeah, I am.
Yeah,
I am.
good.
I know.
Okay, just so
Like
But,
I'm
okay.
snobbing Minecraft because it looks blocky, and for the same reason I snub the Lego games because they're blocky.
no, but yeah, whatever. Snob on your high horse in your ivory tower that you built
Well,
in Minecraft.
I'm
with your
fine
two
on my
houses,
high
right?
unicorn in my ivory
Yeah.
tower. I'm looking down at you casuals,
That
okay?
you,
Yeah, well,
that you pirated off of a torrent site.
I'm only pirating EA and those who deserve it, okay?
Okay.
Let's be real now.
As I was saying,
Um,
I personally, I just want, I can envision, like, being some sort of fucking spy or scout who's actually an assassin, and maybe the Templars are the fucking Nazis. All right, maybe that's going a bit too far, but something along those lines. Maybe instead of riding a horse, you're on a motorcycle. Really change it up because I feel like too many ancient settings is dragging Assassin's Creed down in a way. I want to
Yeah.
see something a bit different from the original, from
I
the
mean,
regular
it-
Assassin's Creed.
Syndicate-
Modernize it a bit.
No, I want feudal Japan. That's going to be different.
I'll take that as well. Yeah, even
I-
that.
Yeah,
Japan.
yeah, I'd be down for that.
After what's it called? Origins, not Origins. What's the most recent one? Odyssey. Yeah, I think they're going to be very similar. Like they've got,
Well, the
I
next
really
one
do feel that.
is Vikings. So
Yeah, oh god, that's going to be extremely similar to
but
fucking
we
Odyssey.
need something fresher in the Assassin's Creed universe, though. Like
They
I
need to
would
take
like
the
to
time,
see
they
like
need
a
to modernize
modern day thingy thing.
Yeah.
Something post 1900s.
like
For sure.
we got a small taste of it in Syndicate when he fast forwarded
In-
to World War One.
Why?
Yeah,
I was just like, oh, I hope that the next one goes here. But because Syndicate didn't sell well, they just went completely back to the beginning. And it's a shame because we could have been moving more and more forward. We could have had World War One, World War
and World War
Two,
II, one of the games.
Cold War, like you said, all this kind of stuff. It would have been amazing. You
Yeah,
know,
exactly.
Oh, question. Bunny, you played the Odyssey one, right?
Zam has.
Oh, you haven't.
I haven't. No.
Yeah.
I don't think
Uh,
I can bring myself to play that game because it
don't,
would be
don't,
so
don't, don't
much
play it, Greg.
cringe with how many times the same Malaka in the game.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's cringy. Like, no, man, come on.
yeah. Like
It
if
may be
Malaka
for you
didn't exist
because
back
you're
then,
Greek, yeah, but I didn't give it. I just found it very grindy. You know,
that's
like
why I
you
won't
really.
buy it because of the grind.
I mean, my player is a fucking badass, and I love him for that. And I'm very, but in a way, by grinding so much, I've become really good at the game. Because you just do the same shit a lot. But yeah,
Yeah,
I
but the
can't be
problem,
after it
I
I
anymore.
don't
don't
I
mind
like
the
can't be after
grind,
grinding.
but the grind is purposefully locked away to make you get XP boosts so you can skip the grind, and that's
Yeah,
what I
yeah, for
don't.
sure. I
And
wasn't
that's
gonna
why I
do that.
won't buy it. It's the only Assassin's Creed game I won't own is Odyssey.
Like, yeah, I don't understand why games need to be grindy. Like, no, just put gameplay everywhere so you can explore and stumble upon things that will give you XP. Why do I need to like kill a thousand fucking wolves in order to level up or something? No, I'm
Yeah,
not doing that
exactly.
shit. Fuck it.
And
You know what I miss?
you can imagine like doing a setting as well where you're the assassin trying to stop the Cuban Missile Crisis or something like along those lines. You know, you're in like tropical areas as well. You know, like it would be in for Black Flag and stuff. I mean, oh man, I really do feel Ubisoft are missing a trick or just fucking lazy, and it's really upsetting me. You
Yeah,
know, I
it's
want
just
some fan
frustrating.
service by these motherfuckers, man. Everybody's been asking for Japan for years, and they haven't delivered. It's ridiculous.
Well, the
Yeah,
other thing is that they release new games every fucking year. Like, we don't need a new game every year. Just give us good games every 3 or every 5. Just make
Well,
them
they're doing them
fucking
every other year.
awesome.
yeah, yeah. Don't need the annual release at all.
You don't need it. I mean, like for instance, you
Absent
have
it loses that special feeling. It's just
for
like, oh,
sure
Exactly, yes.
like 3 and 4 were not only annual releases. And I know four came out on a different console, but they were both pretty much pirate games to a degree. And then 5 and 6 were fucking Paris and London. You know, their sister cities. It's fucking ridiculous. I mean, like talk about some real laziness there on Ubisoft's part. They're not even putting in the effort when it comes to the design and
See, but here's
Odyssey. Oh
where
my god.
here's
Like I
here's
really felt like they just added to the fucking shit people didn't like. Sorry, Roberto.
that's okay. But see, here's the thing though, is that I kind of like, and I mean, I agree with you. If you do an annual release every single year, it does kind of feel lazy. I get that, but I kind of like the way they did some of it, where it was like, okay, so you had the Ezio trilogy, and a lot of that did feel like, with some small differences, did feel kind of the same. But they were in different settings and everything like that. But it continued the story. Then, and when Assassin's Creed 3 came out, the Kenway trilogy, they kind of they changed it up a bunch. I feel like 3 and the Ezio trilogy were significantly different. So but they had then 3, Black Flag, and Rogue, which were kind of like those three. And
Kenway trilogy. Rogue is pretty much Haytham without you playing Haytham.
you pretty much, I look, Rogue's my favorite, so I
same.
can't. Its story
I
was
haven't played
phenomenal. The
Rogue.
character was
It's
phenomenal.
brilliant.
The only one I haven't
I
played.
stopped at Black Flag. I haven't played anything after
Well,
that.
Rogue was a PS3 exclusive at the time.
Yeah, it was a side.
Well, I have PS3. I'm just.
Oh,
What?
well.
You expect me to pay full price?
You play as a Templar, which makes it quite unique.
Yeah, yeah. I don't want to play as a Templar though, because I don't identify
No.
with
Hold on.
Templars.
But the thing about Rogue is that you get to no, he was an assassin originally, and then
Yeah.
he's the Templars, and you get
Yeah.
to watch him like turn on his own friends. And I mean, I'm not going to try to spoil anything if you do play it, but it's like,
Spoil it, man.
But I've
You
already
are
done
what?
that in Oblivion, man. I don't want to go through that. I would have preferred going from Templars to Assassins, not the other way around.
You
Yeah, it's
got
really,
that.
really well done. It's a really well executed story.
Yeah, but I don't know if I can,
Like Black Flag,
identify myself.
I didn't
with
give a
that.
shit about the storyline. I had no interest in it. Bored me shitless. But Rogue was like really good.
Yeah, I agree about the story in Black Flag. Who gives a fuck? Pirates, man.
Yeah, pirates.
I like the battles, the
Yeah.
sea battles and the treasures and
There's a-
shit. Yeah,
Yeah, 4
Did
was
you
that was
fun, but the
fresh.
story was
Roberto, did you see that fan story I sent you
the fan story.
about Connor sorry, yeah, Connor Kenway and what's his name? Uh, Arno meeting each other to fight Shay.
No?
What's
It's
that?
a
Fan
really good fan
fiction?
made video
Oh, it's a
because
fan.
Unity and Assassin's Creed 3, they're only a few years apart. They're
Yeah,
not that far apart.
yeah.
And
Rogue.
someone made a really good fan made. I'll find it for you guys. Really good. It just does some fan fiction where Connor wants to find Shay, because Shay killed a lot of the fucking assassins in colonial America. So
Yeah.
Connor wants to find Shay. He realized that Shay's in France, and he meets up with Arno, and him and Arno go looking for Shay, and obviously they deal with him. But it's a really good story, And I wish
Yeah,
I
send
wish
it to me.
Ubisoft would have written something like that. But I would love
Mm.
to. I would have loved to have read it or seen it. It'd been great.
That's what I'm saying. Like 3, 4, like Rogue, like a lot of all of that. Like I thought that was a really good story, and everything tied in really well together. And then and then you went into like the Unity and Syndicate, and I liked both those games. Like I didn't love them, but I liked those games more than Unity. But I kind of like the fact that they have okay, we're doing these couple things that kind of feel similar, but still in the same time frame, and then we're gonna change it up a lot. Then when they did Origins and Odyssey, I haven't even played Odyssey.
Wait,
You're
Jason.
breaking up a lot, dude.
Yeah, you went full Decepticon there.
Yeah.
All right, can you guys hear me good now?
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're good now.
All right, so like I like the I don't know where I cut out, but I like the fact where it was they did these couple games, and I agree every year is a bit much, but I like how they have these like little trilogies or little 2-parters that kind of tie into one another, and they're kind of feel similar because they're almost like sequels, but then they change it up after that. And I mean, I get it. Like, I mean, every year release is pretty exhausting. So I mean, but I like the every other year format they're kind of going with right now. But I mean, I didn't like the new Origins format. I haven't even finished Origins, and I haven't even played Odyssey just because I didn't like the format that much.
Origins had a beautiful setting, but the game was crap.
Yeah. The mechanics is awful. The mechanics are better in Odyssey. They are better, but it's a grind, nevertheless.
Yeah.
What in
It's
Origins
a
you
better
can't
game.
climb on
I'll be honest with
beds?
you. Odyssey's not that bad, but it just gets grindy. That's the problem with that game. It's actually mechanically, it's a decent game, but it's grindy as fuck.
Okay,
That's
I
the
have
only
to
thing.
ask, because I haven't played Assassin's Creed games since Black Flag. How did they manage to make them grindy? Like,
XP. They put a lot of XP in it.
Basically, what happened is they switched from like action to just like
System.
more of an RPG system with a lot
Yeah.
of
oh
like
god, why?
progressive
If
rules
ain't broken, don't fix
because
it.
they can
It was
monetize it.
broken.
That's why they can monetize it. They gave the excuse of, oh, we wanted to change things up and all that, but they're like,
Yeah.
we can sell you XP boost and you can skip all of it for like £10.
If it ain't
So
broke, don't fix it.
yeah, well, they just wanted to
Well,
they changed Assassin's Creed because people wanted change, but they changed it in a way where now they could fucking suck some money out of people who don't want to grind, and there's plenty of those motherfuckers.
also add, yeah, that the grind has depth to it. Like they've put a lot of story in this game. Even the side missions are packed with story. So there is depth to the grind, but like I said, there's a lot of fucking grind.
Yeah, but
I'll give you the tiny bit of credit I'll give them is adding all this story to get all this fucking voice
Okay,
work.
wait now,
for the fucking game.
because if by grind you mean side quests and exploration and things like that, but there is gameplay and story involved, that's not
Yeah.
grind. That's a lot of gameplay.
It
Grind
feels
would
the
be
same,
if
though. It's always
if you
the
have
same.
to
it feels
just
annoying because like the rewards in return are crap.
Go rescue this, go fetch that, do this, but add a
Yeah.
bit of story to it. It's still the same shit. You know what I mean? It is storyfied, a lot of it. Like they put a lore in it. Like, oh, you have to, like the Minotaur one, which was good fun to play because you end up going for a fucking Minotaur boss, there was a lot of red herrings. You know, initially when I went on this island, I had these con artists were fucking telling me about the Minotaur, and I ended up dealing with con artists. I thought maybe the Minotaur doesn't exist, and I came across this kid, and the next thing you know, we're doing the story with this kid. I came across, you know, I found the entrance to the Minotaur's labyrinth, and you know, and that was pretty cool, you know, because you might come across that in some of the side missions, stuff like that. But you know, like I said, it's still a grind, nevertheless.
Okay,
It's
I
still a
think
fucking grind.
the worst offender when it comes to grinding quests was Dragon's Dogma. Like, there were so many escort quests in that game. I've never seen anything like this before.
You'll get a few of those. Escort quests are
Oh yeah,
fucking
Dragon's Dogma. Fucking hell.
inevitable.
Jesus, there's a blast.
Yeah, oh my god, this game was a fucking headache. Like,
No,
okay,
I never
there,
played it.
I like the fact that you could climb on monsters and kill them and shit, but every other aspect was so idiotic. Okay, there were boobs too, but so
Well, I mean,
yeah,
look, like I'd say like a great underrated gem that had a really good progression to it was Lord of the Rings: Battle in the North. Fantastic game. Right? If nobody's played it,
haven't played it.
I'd recommend it. It was fantastic.
That's a single player or MMO?
No, it was a single player. Oh, it was multiplayer, but not like MMO multiplayer. You know, you
Yeah,
can
I don't
link
do
up with friends.
multiplayers.
Yeah, it's
I
but
don't
you.
like
I
people.
never played it with others. I played it all on my own, and it was fantastic game, absolutely brilliant, and that had a good level of progression. Shadow of Mordor had good progression. The first one, the second one
My
wasn't
eyes are
great.
open.
Your eyes aren't open, man.
They're open. They're open. Don't care. They're open.
His eyes are open, apparently.
Yeah, but then you go to like Origins, and like even Origins, I just found frustratingly grindy and slow, and Ghost Recon as well. And I have no hope that the second one is going to be less of a grind fest. I think it's going to be even more grind fest with XP boost, so you can skip the grind. Um,
You give me all these fucking missions to do, I'm going to do it.
well, it gets boring after a while, though.
No, but I mean, the point is that you know, I mean, if you got to know what you're getting yourself into. I knew kind of what I was getting myself into with Odyssey because the grind word was used a lot as the negative for that
Yeah.
game by reviewers.
Zam, do
So,
you need
as long as
staples,
you know what you're
man?
getting yourself into, it won't be so bad.
Do you need staples or tape?
What?
Ah.
I get ya. Sorry.
All right. Anyway, that's the gaming chat. Jason, you want
No, sorry. Before we finish on the gaming, I just
What?
just to go back to Spider-Man. Sony have got Insomniac Games.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, I mean, considering EA buy up all the competition, how do you feel about Sony buying this particular developer?
Yeah, fine, because Sony aren't cunts. Microsoft and Sony have gone out and bought a load of independent studios, things like that. I'm not too happy about it in one sense, but Sony has a solid reputation. So, you know, it's fine. And Spider-Man was fantastic. It had great progression. Everything was free. What you paid for is what you got. You know, it's sad that that's one of the levels of expectation now as you buy a game and like everything you get in it, you don't have to pay. Here's some DLC. Again, I've never had any problem paying for expansions of DLC because it never affects the main game. Although there's been a few companies that like Capcom and EA that have actually locked off expansion, the rest of the story to a game behind DLCs and expansion passes and all this kind of shit. But for the most part, not really. You know, it doesn't really affect. So I don't have problems paying for things like that. What I want in my game is, you know, I just don't bullshit us about. I paid for it. That's what I get. Everything's in there. Fantastic. And that's what Spider-Man
I
was.
don't know what Sony are like when it comes to video games that much. I mean, they obviously I play on the PlayStation, but I don't really think of my games being Sony games. But nevertheless, do
Last
you
of
worry
Us,
about
God of War.
which
God, what
ones?
other games?
God of
Last
War
of
never,
Us, God of
never,
War.
no.
Yeah, we don't play, but like they're highly praised
I know about
games.
Sony
Sony have a good
exclusives.
reputation.
I know about exclusives, but now with this particular game that I'm invested in, Spider-Man, do you think this game will be heavily monetized? The sequel, that is.
No, not at all. Sony funded the Spider-Man game that we got. That's why
Yeah.
it was exclusive to Sony. So no, it won't
Fair
be
enough.
heavily.
Yeah. Sorry, I wasn't thinking straight. Yeah.
Yeah,
Fair enough. Yeah.
no,
Yeah.
I get ya.
Well,
I
I'm
get ya.
generally not necessarily against exclusives if that means giving out good games.
yeah. If it means good games, what I just worry for the studios because then if that game, like for example, is it Days Gone that just came out, that zombie game, and that ended up being a
Mhm.
pile of shit, then you worry about the studio because it's like, okay, well, if their next project doesn't work, are Sony just going to be like, well, that's it, we're shutting the studio down, and that's what I worry. Instead of saying, oh, we'll let you all go, but companies don't do that. They just swallow everyone up and get rid of the company because they don't want to release competition back out there. So that's my worry. Like Ghost of Tsushima has gone very quiet by one of my favorite studios, which is Sucker Punch,
Yeah.
which
What the
did
fuck
the
happened to that?
amazing fucking Infamous games, which I absolutely love. But that game has
Ooh,
gone
I
so
had
quiet.
that one.
Huh?
I have the infamous game on
I love them.
on the PlayStation 3. Yeah, that was
Yeah,
interesting fucking game.
fantastically good superhero games. And they're the company that are doing Ghost of Tsushima, which looks amazing. But all of a sudden, it's gone dead, quiet, nothing. And I worry because Sucker Punch haven't made anything since I think Infamous like Neon Lights, I think it was called or something like that. And I just hope that they
Nothing
stick
at
around.
E3, was there?
No, nothing at E3. Nothing.
Yeah. And Comic Con, nothing.
Yeah,
Oh
nothing.
yeah, but I heard that there's gonna be a new Saints Row,
And you what?
probably. A new Saints Row game might be coming out.
Oh fuck, I hope so. But
I
Volition
hope
just
so
did
too.
Agents of Mayhem, and that was fucking terrible. So the
Oh.
company Volition that did Saints Row, they did Agents of Mayhem, and it was like even at E3, I think it was 2017. The guy that was talking to a company member from Volition, they was explaining the game, and the interviewer was like, "Is there anything else you could do in this?" He's like, "Well, no, we thought we'd keep it basic." He goes, "So this is it?" He's like, "Yeah," and didn't know what else to say in the interview. That's how shit the game was, and that. But
That
I bought it because I want to support Volition because I want Saints Row 5. I want Saints Row. I need it.
that oh shit, I lost my fucking train of thought. Fuck.
Stop smoking weed then.
I mean,
No.
that implies that you ever
The
found your
Avengers game,
train of thought.
the Avengers game, that's the one I want to talk about. Are
Oh
you guys
yeah.
gonna get it?
Jason, thoughts on the Avengers game?
I think it looks great. Um, I mean, as I said, I'm a mark for these kind of genre games. As long as it's good, I mean, it looks like they're kind of putting like, as they said that they gave Spider-Man the Arkham treatment for the PS4 Spider-Man game. I kind of feel like the Avengers are getting the Arkham treatment. So I mean, I feel like they're putting a lot
The
into that.
Arkham treatment as well.
What?
The same
I
treatment.
don't feel Avengers has got the Arkham treatment in that sense. I feel it's gotten more of a Tomb Raider feel in that it's very
It's
like
very close up third person.
yeah, but it's very what's the best way to say it? I find it's going to be a very claustrophobic game, very narrow game. Instead of utilizing
On a rail. I heard it's on a
a
rail.
massive open world, you're going to be like locked off into mission parts and all of that. And the more I hear about the game, the less enthused I am personally. Like the multiplayer is only going to be like a certain set missions instead of playing throughout the whole story with another person. So
That's
that was a
fucking ridiculous. You're the
huge,
Avengers.
yeah,
You're the
that was a
Avengers. How can you not
huge
do
disappointment.
multiplayer? For fuck's sake.
Yeah,
Fucking
So
ridiculous.
for this one, I'm
There's
just
no
personally
Hawkeye in
gonna
that
wait and
trailer, by the
see.
way.
I'll just wait and see what
I've
others
heard
say.
nothing about this.
Really? Would you live under a fucking rock? Well, you live in
Pretty
Latvia. So,
much.
yeah,
Yeah, I live in a cave,
yeah,
in
pretty
an
much.
underground cave.
So
I sleep
Yeah,
upside
actually,
down from the ceiling.
you saying all of these things, Ginge, makes me very unhappy. Marco, not Roberto. I highly recommend you watch some fucking reviews first before you part with your cash. And the fact that you can't do multiplayer as the Avengers is just mind-boggling. And there was no Hawkeye in that goddamn trailer. That bugged me the fuck out more than the
now
face
he'll probably be released later as DLC.
Yeah,
There's
DLC.
more
probably.
characters to come.
Unlockable with money.
Yeah,
No, but look, the original six should be all there, and then like you could make people like Black Panther unlockables, but fucking not Hawkeye. He should be part of the fucking six.
well, as far as I know, the unlockable characters that they hinted towards were Ant-Man, Wasp. Not sure about Hawkeye yet, but I'm sure he'll be unlockable. Miss and Captain Marvel. So those are the hints that I saw that will be the unlockable characters. Uh, but
I
yeah,
thought
I,
it was
don't know. I was
real.
so excited when I first saw it, and then I was just the more you hear about the gameplay, you're like, oh god, why?
Yeah,
But then I realized it's the same company that did the Tomb Raider games, and the new ones are
What? Square
fucking
Enix.
garbage. I hate
you
them.
think about it, good superhero games are a penny to a pound, mate. Like they're fucking
No, a penny to a pound. Yeah, like Spider Man was fucking amazing. Just freedom to
fucking
do
hell.
whatever. And
Yeah,
great game.
Spider Man. I would say a couple of the Arkham games were pretty good.
Yeah, the
And
first
it's really
two.
hard to think outside of that bubble after that.
Yeah,
You think of superhero games, really, honestly, what is there?
yeah.
Previous Spider-Man games, maybe. The
Ultimate
Superman
Alliance
games
3, but
are shit.
even that's nowhere near as good as the second one.
Has there
You
been a
know
Green
what,
Lantern game?
Sam?
To my knowledge, has there been a Flash game? Not to my knowledge. You
No.
got Injustice and stuff, but they're beat 'em ups. But I put them in a different category.
Yeah, they
It's just
don't
I put them in the
the
beat 'em
same.
up category, regardless of who's in the roster.
Yeah, exactly.
We need an
So
intro jingle.
Huh?
oh, there's been them X-Men games, haven't there? There's been that Wolverine game. That was
Oh, I
shit.
played that game. I played that game.
No,
That,
what
that was
Wolverine
back
game
in
was
No.
excellent. By
2008 or
Raven
something.
Software. That was
It was so
fantastic.
easy to play that game. You just before every battle, just hide in the corner and
That was
just
that was
wait for your
before
health to regenerate.
Arkham was a game though. That Wolverine game.
Oh, you're talking about the X2 Wolverine game? I like that game.
No, not X2.
It was hard in the
You
snow.
mean the one that you were doing the drill and shit, right? With the dog
The, the
tags.
the the Origins one, the one where it's
Yes,
not.
yes, yes,
Yeah,
yes.
that was a great
It
fucking
was
game.
fun back then.
Yeah, it was a fantastic game.
I
It
own it. I've
wasn't.
never played it.
That's the one
It
you
was
start in
really
the
good.
snow, yeah.
My friend
What?
Marcus bought it for me for my birthday. I still get to play it.
I just remember like the game, like the first mission of the game. Actually, that's the only mission I can honestly remember. I can't remember any other mission. He starts like he's just he's been experimented on, and it's snowing everywhere around him, and he's just got his shorts on, and he's just running around in the snow, with his claws out, fucking doing damage to people.
I don't
And I just remember the
remember.
strategy of playing that game, which really disappointed me, was that I
I
would
like
just kill a few people. If I'm low on health, I'll just wait for my health to regenerate because I'm fucking Wolverine, and then move forward into the fight.
I like the
Um,
drill move.
I
That he
think that was
did.
the X2 Wolverine, but I mean, and that's the one where Mark Hamill did the voice of Wolverine. That was
Did
I
he?
thought that was a great game.
They didn't leave a memorable mark on me. I just think it was quite average.
I don't know.
And
Thing
he had
is,
rage mode. I remember that you get rage mode when you get beaten up too much.
yeah, I haven't
I
oh
thought
remember
yeah,
that as
about.
well.
that was a fantastic game. That was X-Men Wolverine. X-Men Origins
Okay.
Wolverine. That
Yeah,
was
but
brilliant.
thing is, I haven't thought about this game in like 10 years or more. So
Well, when
Unless
it comes to
that
superheroes,
means that the
it's
game
different,
didn't
bro.
really leave a mark. Like, okay, I enjoyed it. I played it a couple of times, 3 times. Don't remember how many times I played it back to back, cause, nah.
This is how Chris plays games with her pinkies up.
And it's funny because like I think the superhero that's had the most video games, I'm not 100% sure on this, would be Batman, and he's got no fucking superpowers.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he has the
There's been tons of
gadgets.
Batman games. Batman's like one of the
No,
most.
I know. Zam. Yeah, you're thinking of X-Men 2 Wolverine's Revenge. That's where you started the snow. That was awful.
I
Yeah, that
haven't
was
played
awful.
that one.
X-Men Origins Wolverine is a fantastic. Again, Raven Software, one of the best fucking games companies that just got swallowed up by Activision.
I mean, yeah, it was good, but I haven't thought about this game in 10 years. I never felt compelled to replay it again, even though I played it like 2 or 3 times back then. Because, you
Yeah.
know. But I can't say it left a mark. Like, even for. I wouldn't play it today, even for nostalgia reasons. And that. But to be fair, there are very few games from back in the day that I would go back again. Very
Oh,
few.
there's loads for me. My God, loads.
Yeah, I
Um,
mean, I went back to Assassin's Creed 3, and I thought I would enjoy it, but no, it was
Uh,
absolutely awful.
Well,
It was
I
yeah,
still,
three
absolutely
was
awful.
awful. Like I would play two and Brotherhood. Like yeah, thoughts
I'll play Black Flag again for sure.
and Black Flag.
yeah,
That
But
was
but
great.
but I don't consider those to be that old though. You know, like for example, the one game probably that I can always see myself going back to is the first vampire game from back in 2000, which is awful graphics, uh, awful mechanics. It's clunky as
Fucking
fuck,
vampire.
but I would go back to it like
well,
yeah.
this is it. Well, I still play. I'll still got whack on Streets of Rage and have a great time, and the original
I
Sonic
would
game,
too in that
and
case.
have a great time, and Jedi Academy and Jedi
Final fight.
Outcast, and I'll play those, and I'll love those games, and the versatility of the characters, and the absolute genius in the mechanics of it, still make it playable to this day. I don't give a shit about the graphics being outdated. The gameplay is fantastic with these. Max Payne 2, I always go back and replay. It's absolutely brilliant. These days, I play a game, and there's not many games that I ever go back to replay. They're one and done because they're so
They're
boring.
exhausting.
To be honest, I have a list of games that I would want to see fucking remade with updated graphics and mechanics and whatnot, just for the story value. But I'm not sure if that would be wise if they are as good as I remember them, or if it's just the nostalgia talking. You know?
Well, as long as it's not Activision doing it, well, they'll just stick in a fucking load of microtransactions like they did with Modern Warfare. Um, but yeah, I would. As long as you do it right and don't fuck about, then I'm okay with certain games being like remastered. But if not, I don't care. I've still got the games. So I'll go back and play them. Yeah, I've got like emulators and that. So
Yeah, but I would like to see them with like, updated graphics, like how it would look with today's standards. But the stories uh, that I enjoyed back in the day and
yeah,
whatnot.
yeah, I know
I'd
what you
really
mean.
like to see that.
Yeah, I'm not against it.
Well,
Well,
guys, I am done. We've been on for 40 minutes longer than usual.
yeah,
Yeah, that's fine. It was a good session
I'm
today.
done.
We talked
yeah.
about games.
Roberto, thank you very much for waking up early. You
Yeah.
can go back to bed now.
Sorry, Jason, we brought you out here and you barely got in.
Yeah, but Jason, you got anything you want to say, mate?
No, not really. I mean, the game that I liked was the X2 Wolverine that you guys say is garbage. I enjoyed it. So
Fair enough.
And Assassin's Creed 3 is his favorite.
Yeah. And we're like, that game sucks. Stupid American. Bob.
I mean, I felt so good liberating ourselves from those, dictator over.
Yeah, those,
Liberating yourselves from yourselves.
yeah. That's my favorite. Take that, you red coat motherfucker. I can definitely see why you enjoy it. Well, yeah. Well, anyway, yep. I'm done. I enjoyed myself. I thought it was a good old.
Well, I'll see you guys next week and try and digest as much nerd shit
Yeah.
as possible.
Let's see what
So
comes out
we-
this week for subjects as well.
Yeah.
And
When it comes to gaming, I can talk all day. Let's be honest.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Well,
All right, guys.
we should implement more like also other nerd topics like RPs, like D&D and shit like that. We never talk about D&D and shit like that.
Nobody fucking
D
plays
and
D&D.
D,
You fucking
Dungeons and
nerd.
Dragons,
Now look, if we can
Nerd.
find
Dungeons and Dragons.
who play D&D, that's great. I mean, y'all can switch me out for somebody who actually plays D&D because I don't play D&D. But if you do a D&D
That's
pro,
3-1 there, Chris.
Christine playing on her own, throwing dice.
Yeah,
No,
yeah.
no,
You can
no,
play with your
no.
fucking
You're not.
crew.
We're not throwing dices anymore because we have the dice bots on Discord,
they're
bitch.
throwing
Everyone's done
things.
virtually. But to be fair, I play more World of Darkness than D&D, so
Okay then.
Fair enough.
Fair enough.
yeah.
All right, that's it.
All
Let's
right,
go.
yeah.
All
Roll
right,
the
guys.
outro,
I'll see you.
bitch.
I will see you guys next week. Bye bye.
Yeah.